What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Train, as usual. Hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. My mini OCD is kicking in. That chair was not straight. There we go. We looking nice. My guy, Reese, how's it been, man?
What's going on, everybody? Reese back again, ready to talk some hoops. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And look, it's called Get a Bucket, right? So you could infer that we talk about basketball. Now, we do talk about, MLB, NFL. I might have even thrown a little soccer in there, football. But we will be talking about basketball today because the season's about to begin. So with that being said, actually, matter of fact, maybe by the time this video drops, the season will already have started. So we gotta go ahead and, just for letting y'all know, this is before the season started. That's why it's called the 2023 NBA Award Predictions. Now, we do have the Coaches of the Year, for those of y'all who don't know. We also have, we got the Coaches of the Year. We got the Sixth Man of the Year. We also got the Most Improved, and then got Defensive Player of the Year, MVPs, like some solid teams, and some solid prospects. And then we might even go ahead and just finish it off with the finals predictions. Get a little saucy out there. We might just do something like that. But we're just gonna go down. We're just gonna list off our prediction, right, for each. So I guess we should just go ahead and start with the Coach of the Year. That sounds like the best.
Yeah.
So who's your Coach of the Year? Matter of fact, let me clarify it too, people. It's 2023. There we go. Boom. On the fly. Who you got for
So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna preface my picks with they are absolutely based on recent events. We all know what's happened recently in the time of the NBA. Draymond punching folks, Russ not going to huddles. Things is going crazy. But that was his pregame ritual. Whatever you want to think about with that being, But whatever you want to think about it being.
What about during the game?
Hey, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the pregame. All right. But for Coach of the Year, and honestly, it's funny because I can't think of the guy's name, but I know ESPN, NBA, they all posted it. They had this team ranked 8th in their conference. But I personally feel like Steve Kerr will have a strong case for Coach of the Year. And think about it like this. Draymond punching Jordan Poole. If he can somehow coach, quote unquote, I know, a lot of people just feel like, it's kind of let Steph run around. He ain't really doing no coaching, right? There are those people who believe that, but however, you got to coach something at some time. You don't win with just having a man run around.
You got to do something, yeah.
You got to do something.
Yeah.
And so after having a certified leader of your team punch a guy that you have eligible for a contract extension, if we are able to have that team be top 3, which they were basically the number 1 seed going into Christmas almost last year, right? And then obviously Clay in and out of that lineup, Steph in and out of the lineup, so they kind of fall down. But then that's when Memphis, Phoenix, and those guys kind of were able to take the time to take ahead of them. But I personally feel like, Steve Kerr has a great opportunity to show how, as a coach, he can still rally his troops and go out and win games. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're all here to see. We want to see guys like, especially coming off a championship. You know what I mean? The Warriors have never seemed like a team to kind of rest on their laurels. So I definitely feel like they're going to come back with that same type of intensity and energy. And I just really want to see how they bounce back as a unit. And it starts with the coach.
Okay. I can't be mad at Steve Kerr.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. And to be honest with you, I have 10 people up here.
Was Steve on your 10?
Yeah, he is actually. But for me, I don't know if y'all been watching, right? But Netflix brought up the Redeem Team. And when I look at the Redeem Team for the NBA this season, I'm calling it the Clippers. You could say the Nets, right? Like, you could say the Nets. But a lot has to be redeemed for this Clippers. John Wall, are you back? Like, I've been seeing the highlights. Cool. He's saying, I'm back. I'm him.
20 points in 23 minutes or something like that?
Something like that. Like, you know, you got PG. All right, cool. I'm glad you're in a better headspace. Kawhi, you looking like, You might have stole Zion's leg. I don't know. Like it's okay, cool. Then you got people like Norman Powell out there doing his thing. Reggie Jackson, you did what you did last season. Now you got John Wall coming in. Like this team is primed for a championship. And usually, like the better teams, they'll get that Coach of the Year award. Like that usually helps them out. So like I feel like with all that being said, and it's a lot of talent, and I feel like it's a lot of load management they're gonna be doing. I think Ty Lue gonna have to get the Coach of the Year. Like I do hear you on the Steve Kerr one. The Draymond Green punching Jordan Poole, low key sucker punching, but at the same time, if you bump chest with me, like my spidey senses are tingling. So like I don't you know, like that does kind of amp up Steve Kerr at my rankings a little bit. I got to say. Let me.
But I'll say too, to your point about Ty Lue, like you said, it's usually the most winningest coach that gets it. And I think with the low managing, he just has to make sure he wins the games his stars sit. And I think, you know what I mean? But you still have to be a top 3 seed, really, to win Coach of the Year.
But remember, though, he was doing that with Paul George.
Oh, no, he wasn't. No. I absolutely know. That's what I'm saying. That's a great call out. I definitely think he is capable. But I'm saying now to win Coach of the Year, he must. Yeah. I'm be honest, like, at the end of the day, you rest Kawhi one day, rest PG one day, you know what I mean? You could probably still win games. At the end of the day, you have a top 20 player, you know what I mean, leading your team, top 10 if you were looking at Kawhi. You know what I mean? So it's like, if they can go out there and just lull you to a win, I mean, because think about it. And it's funny, right? Because Draymond said it best when he was talking on the shop. He said he hates playing he used some profanity, but he said he just hates playing the bums, basically.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to get fired up for the bums, right? Yeah. And so think about it. If we have a 4-game stretch in the Eastern Conference, talking about the LA going in the East, and we play Miami, Orlando. I'm trying to think about who else is in that Southern Conference. Is Atlanta?
You don't like Wizards.
Yeah, you know what I mean? If I have a road trip like that, I'm probably gonna rest for the Magic, rest for the Wiz. You know what I mean? Like I'm resting for certain teams. Like they're already gonna have it kind of predetermined. Obviously, barring no injuries. Hey, you're gonna rest this game. Like I feel like it's the type of thing you have to kind of plan out. It's not like I ain't feeling today, coach. You know what I mean? Especially with the way, because at the end of the day, Kawhi really introduced load managing to the league. And so it's kind of like,
did he? Because here's the thing, too. We got to remember.
Okay, so I'll use introduce loosely. He made it sexy. All right? He made it sexy. Okay? Especially after the San Antonio thing. He said, listen, I'm coming to Toronto. I'm going to play 60 games, and I'm going to show y'all what I look like in the playoffs. And what did he do? He won a championship.
We got to give a shout out to Braun, too, because he did also do load management a little bit, too. So, I'm not going to discredit Braun.
Yeah, for sure.
But both of them, though, yeah.
Yeah. So I just think, it's the type of thing where, like I said, you win the games. I mean, and obviously, the Clippers were a competitive team without PG. So it's kind of like, I mean, they might be, when you go see the Rockets, hell, Kawhi and PG might not play. I mean, honestly and truthfully, because why? You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure if we look up the record against the Clippers versus the Rockets, I'm pretty sure the Clippers still won that matchup last year.
Probably did. And it's funny, too, because I also wonder what happens if Paul George doesn't have to go into COVID protocols during the play-in games. Because now that's a little bit different. Like the Suns versus the Clippers?
Do you think they're going to have that going on this season? I mean, we're 2 years removed from COVID now. People still get COVID.
I think they still do.
Really? I mean, I haven't heard any kind of like about it.
I haven't heard a reason why they would like remove it.
Well, the kind of timing for it has greatly reduced. You know, it's kind of like if you can contract it, but if you don't have symptoms, then you only got to take like 3 to 5 days or something like that.
I still think they're trying to like reduce how many people can get it, I guess.
And they have to be a standard to some point. I just can't say though that I've heard in the NFL or MLB season people being out for COVID protocol. I don't want to say I've heard that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And you think about it, those are 53-man rosters when it comes to the NFL, and even more when it comes to practice teams. So you know what I mean? I don't know. This may be I'm not gonna say a COVID-free season, but a COVID protocol-free season.
Possibly. I hope so.
Yeah, because I mean, it honestly sucked seeing that. It was just like, I mean, because then, you know, obviously as a fan too, it's kind of like you see your star player go out for it, but it's kind of like, so you telling me he got it, but the other 14 guys on the team didn't get it?
Exactly.
The math doesn't math.
It's not, or the mandate when that joint hit, like for the Warriors, and the Nets, like and the Knicks. So it's like, dang, bro, that's very unfortunate. But you know, I'm glad we're in at least better times nowadays. I'm glad we're
absolutely. And if I had to give a runner-up for my coach of the year, I'll give two. One is absolutely family, but the first one, I would say, what's his name, Taylor Jenkins, I think. For the Grizz.
Okay.
I mean, he just being a top 3 candidate last year next to Ime. Obviously, he may not be eligible to do it this year, but still, the Grizzlies didn't lose anything really in the free agency. Jaren Jackson Jr., I think, may be out at the start of the season.
He'll be out,
but he kind of was in and out of the lineup anyway. So was Ja. You know what I mean? The team kind of still won again, right? Still to the point that we're talking about Ty Lue. I think the Grizzlies were like 20. I'm gonna give an obscure number without knowing the exact number, like 20-5, let's say, without Ja. If the Clippers can go, you know what I mean, 20-5 without Kawhi or PG, it's no reason why I don't think Ty Lue can run away with it. But then I have to say it in the same breath, my guy Joe Mazzulla, if he, again, just like the Steve Kerr thing, Draymond punched Jordan Poole. Your head coach getting suspended for consensual relationships. Put that on record. A consensual relationship. But then your assistant coach comes in. Hey, what if we are a top 3 seed? How can you not look at? I say, what if? How can you not look at that guy? You can't just be like, oh, he just picked up where he made left off. You can say that. But so did Steve after Mark Jackson. What did he do? He won the championship.
I mean, I can't be mad at Joe because again, it's the situation. It's the situation at the end of the day.
So you're saying that he can't win it because of the situation?
No. I'm saying like because of the situation, it helps him. Yeah, because of the situation, it helps him. But if I had to do a runner-up, I say, and this is me.
Give me two.
All right. I got Jason Kidd, and I want him to get a little saucy. I'm going to give you a dark horse. Willie Green off the Pelicans.
Man, Trey, get out of my head, bro. Literally, bro. Those were... Yeah. It was between those two for me before I said Steve Kerr. I already knew who my 2 backup were. So, but I knew I had to decide. It was those 3. It was a revolving door. Those are great picks.
Easy. Now... we got the NBA 6-man.
I'll let you go. Please, I need you to start you off because you ain't gonna like what I got to say.
Okay. I got to say again, people, I'm not going to give you the whole list, but I did have 7 up here. I got to go Tyrese Maxey off the 76ers. And I'm hoping he's a bench. I'm hoping they're bringing him off the bench. If not, I'm going to go Tyler Hero for the Heat.
Yeah, the back-to-back 6-man of the year. I was going to say it's a trend with 6-man of the year, really. Kind of when you really look at the history of the 6-man award.
For Lou Will.
Yeah, it's kind of like you gotta have one every decade that repeats.
Yeah. But I will say this too, though. He is a starter talent. So, and he'll get like the starter minutes. Like, so he's going to get an unfair advantage. That's why I wanted Tyrese Maxey to get that starting like that coming off the 6-man, right? Kind of like how I was saying Russell Westbrook.
What's so nasty about the Tyler Hero back-to-back 6-man is the fact that we all know that he's not starting because Eric Spoelstra doesn't trust him defensively. And the Miami Heat's offense, I mean, we all watch the playoffs. It's as nasty as Tyler Hero's defense. If you don't have Jimmy leading that first unit, and then Tyler Hero rounding up those non-Jimmy minutes when it really comes time, who is really scoring? I've watched the preseason. Bam Adebayo, bro, I need you to do something with your game, bro. You are too good, bro. You are literally, and I guess this is why I'm frustrated, right? Bam is what they want the modern NBA big to be.
Yeah.
In terms of switch 1 through 5, run up and down the court, bringing the ball up. You know what I mean? Like, he is what scouts are looking for, right? For a center position in a modern NBA. But it's like, offensively, you're being guarded by folk that aren't. It just feels like they aren't there with you. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I understand the Tyler Hero thing, but it's like, dang, man.
To your point, I don't want to like get off on too much of a tangent because like I have Bam Adebayo reminds me of the modern day Ben Wallace, who has a lot more offensive capability, and it's so frustrating to feel like I know you could do so much more offensively. Yes. And that would open up the game for everybody.
I think it was game because the Celtics series went 7. Where it was game 4 or 5 that Bam showed up, but then it was just like literally every other game, everybody is waiting for you to score 20 points, not even 35.
And he's inconsistent with it too. Like, I don't mind you missing, not too much. Okay, cool, I mind you, but like he was seeming too passive. That's my thing. Like that. Okay, that's trepidation. Like that's that you're not ready. That's never a good thing, especially in the playoffs from your supposed to be second option, because he's supposed to be the person who's taking over Jimmy. Like he needs to be taking that mantle on. So, but
right,
Tyler Hero, Tyler Hero, though, 6th man of the year. Sounds like we got that. Did you have a runner up?
Hey. I think I got the winner. Tyler Hero. I understand you got to have a back-to-back in this decade, but listen to me, because I think in about T-minus an hour, he'll be coming off the bench tonight for the Los Angeles Lakers. Russell Westbrook, baby. I think if Russ stays, I do not think, and again, I'm prefacing my pick, I do not think that Russell Westbrook will end the season as a Laker. Mm-hmm. However, if tonight goes well with Russ running the second unit, and the first, let's say, I don't know, you tell me what you think a good barometer for your season is. Let's say the first 15 games. But I personally feel like, because I looked at it, I don't know if you've seen y'all's first 7 games, bro. Y'all are playing Clippers, Nuggets, Wizards. Y'all are playing guys who were in the playoffs last year. So, y'all first 7 games, you can either be 4-3, 1-6. So it's like, if y'all don't get, if y'all in that first 10 game stretch, I'm going to say 10 games. I ain't even get it 15. 15 is way too long. If Russell Westbrook is still on the team after 10 games and is performing well with the second unit and averaging, because what he had, 15, 7, something like that last year, something like that, right?
It was 19-7, 18 and
yeah. So and Russ is the type of guy who is very capable of doing that in Tyler Hero minutes. Mm-hmm. Because he just, he is such an energy and he gravitates towards the ball. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you play him on the court with, and hey, think about it. The last time the Russell Westbrook played with a bench unit, mm-hmm. he won MVP.
So here's the only trepidation I have. I want Russ to come off the bench, right? I just need him to be more efficient. I talk about the 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. All the all-star guards had that. Like the point guards, they had that. So if you're going to be the starting point guard, which is essentially what people look at him as. Like, you don't look at Schroeder as that. You don't look at Pat Bev. You look at Russell Westbrook.
Right, even off the bench. Off the bench. Because I don't see them benching him in crunch time. That would be very. That'll be very. It's like, if I'm Russ, I have to go. I have to leave.
Like, it's not about who starts. It's about who finishes. So you can always give him 30, 32 minutes a game off the bench. That's fine. His assist to turnover ratio needs to be 2-to-1, and it was not 2-to-1 last season. I understand it was close. We're not playing horseshoes though. Like, we're playing basketball, so you need to be effective. You need to be efficient. And I understand people say, in OKC he was wild and did whatever. He still gave me 2-to-1. Like he's still a third option. That's still his usage rate is still relatively high. Like it's in the 20s. So it's high 20s, 27, I want to say. So I mean that he should be able to do a little bit better than what he did. Last season was cool. I don't want to bash him too much. And when
I mean numbers wise especially. And also you think about it like this, Tyler Hero ain't playing 82 games. The only games that Russell Westbrook misses are ones because he wanted to miss them.
Yeah, like
if that were hurting from riding the bench, he said that. He said, "Oh man, I ain't never felt the time that long before, man."
I mean,
that were hurting a little bit.
Just
so, I mean, the only games he misses, if he gives you, if Russell Westbrook, which he's very capable of, again, even in the style of play, which is a very physical game, he is willing to play 82 games.
Yeah.
It would be hard to overlook him at 6th man of the year if he even gives you 15, 6, and 6. You know what I mean? And again though, with efficiency. I mean, I'm not saying he's just going out there and just doing whatever. But if he gives you 15, 6, and 6, I mean, how can you deny a man doing that 6th man of the year? That's who I personally want to see winning. Also because for his legacy, I think more so if anything. Because PG posted it on Instagram the other day, basically saying that folk were like dismissing his legacy too much, and I agree with that. But that's also what comes with playing in a city like LA. Yeah, it's kind of like
spotlight's all on you.
New York, LA, Boston. Those are the medias that will destroy you. Easy. End of the story. You know what I mean? Like nothing after that. Those are the medias that will destroy you. They have the most tenure and the most time, and they want to. They get off on that shit.
Yeah. No, they do. They do. Yeah. Like long story short, I just need Russ to improve.
But I can't think of anybody other than Tyler Hero and Russ. Well, give me a third name that you had on your list. You said you had a couple.
I gotta go Malcolm Brogdon because he's coming off the bench for y'all, right?
Hey, back of my head, but I can't be that guy.
Right, yeah, you can't be too selfish. I understand.
I can't be that guy. But I'm glad man, I'm gonna sleep good tonight. I
want us to be fair though. I do have John Wall ahead of him, only because I feel like Reggie Jackson deserves to start based on what he did last season. And John Wall, you got him saying it's a respect thing. I think a chemistry thing, but I do like Brogdon. Like it's like he's in that top 4, and again, Maxi's probably going to be starting, so he's really a top 3. So
and I got you. I mean, hell, Brogdon, Rookie of the Year. Leading 2 guard, 1 guard for the Pacers. But I'll say too about the Reggie Jackson thing. I'm glad you brought that up just real quick. I think PG publicly saying that he was the number 2 to Kawhi's number 1 set a precedent for that team. This is a no ego environment. We are here to win games. So I think regardless of who starts, Reggie or John, I think either one of them probably could make a name for themselves as a 6th man. You know what I mean? I understand what you're saying, right? Obviously, based on what Reggie did. Because again, right, we talked about PG missing all those games. Reggie Jackson was the leader of that team. You know what I mean? While PG was out. So, and I think he'd probably even do better leading their bench, knowing, you know what I mean, having that camaraderie with those guys. Whereas John Wall can his game can kind of be masked being out there with Kawhi and PG, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? He can have a not so okay night, and PG and Kawhi starting with them, everybody will be like, but he out there with PG and Kawhi. You know what I mean? They kind of taking his touches. Where if you put him in a microscope of being the 6th man, it's kind of like now it's all eyes on John.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
But I like those though. I love what you said, bro. Yeah.
We off to a good start then. Now we got the most improved.
All right, let me take this one first.
I'm about to say, go ahead.
So you mentioned them for the 6th man. I'm going Tyrese Maxey. If you let's think about the last 3 or 4 people to win MIP, right? You got Ja, you got Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle. I'm looking at those guys. They're not, you know what I mean? They're not no-name guys. You know what I mean? The MIP hasn't become an award where it's kind of like, let's highlight somebody who's just, made a jump. You know what I mean? The NBA has kind of taken that award and kind of used it as more of a media-centric award, in my opinion. It's kind of like what, you know what I mean? It's kind of like what, because you think about it, where B.I., Julius Randle, and especially John Moran last year. I personally hated John Morant being the MIP last year, just because of him being the number one option. I understand that it's a sophomore slump. I understand that you and going into your junior year, it's kind of like you're making a name for yourself. But I feel like when you go top 2, top 3, but then again I look at BI, I look at Brandon Ingram, and I say the same thing.
Right.
When you're a top 5 pick, why are you getting a most improved nod when if I pick you top 5, my dog, you better be improving to the most of you. So you know what I mean? To the highest capacity that you can.
Expectation. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm taking Tyrese Maxey as a lower lottery pick guy. You know what I mean? Was he even in the lottery?
I think he.
I think he was picked. I think he was picked 15 after Aaron Neesmith. You can fact check me on that, but I think he was picked like right after Aaron Neesmith because I cried that night. I usually remember the tears. You know, Aaron Neesmith had a broken foot and we drafted him. Romeo Langford, broken hand, and we drafted him. It just don't make sense. Danny ain't know what he was doing.
Danny ain't know what he was doing.
I said it.
He went 21st. I was about to say y'all
21st, okay.
Sixers didn't have a high. I didn't have a.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, so then that supports my statement even more. I want to see a guy lower pick who came into the league. I mean, don't get me wrong. Nobody expected Tyrese Maxey to be as good as he was. You know what I mean? Especially when you pick a guy up 21st, 14 that wants to contend. It's kind of like, oh, dang, you know what I mean? Especially for a team that also missed out on that Markelle Fultz stint, right? Because of injury. So now we're kind of looking for that pseudo guard to kind of play next to Ben and Joel at that time. You get Maxey, and it's like, oh, snap, we got him.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But yeah, tell me what you think about that and who you got for MIP.
So I got Maxey, I want to say 4th on the list. No, I'm sorry, 6th on my list.
Okay.
I like Maxey though. Like I say, he's my 6th man of the year. Hopefully this man comes off the bench, but he's not. I got a little saucy. I had my second pick was my first for a while, but I thought about it because I looked at him and I like the team. He's coming off the Kings, and when I say the name, it's going to be a little surprising. Domantas Sabonis. I'm thinking we can have a most improved again. Or not again, but like, it's weird to say because he's been like, you know, all-star before, put up quality numbers, but I feel like he took a little dip when he went over to the Kings. Like when he's on the Pacers, he's still kind of viewed as that all-star. You give him that like cachet now, goes on for whatever reason. The Kings just didn't do anything. Like it's like, oh, is he really a top tier guy now? I don't know if they get to the playoffs, but I think they're going to make it interesting for the play-in. Like I think the Blazers, the Kings, those teams you can't necessarily just put in the win column. Like, all right, we easy. Like that's going to be a tough tier battle. And I think Domantas Sabonis, especially being at the maybe 5 now, is going to be able to ball to a Keegan Murray who's going to be open that short corner. Or maybe you got Harrison Barnes who's cutting, or maybe you got De'Aaron Fox who you're doing a pick and roll, pick and pop game with. So, I mean, you got a couple of pieces that you can actually play with, and maybe he might look a little Jokic-like. Not saying
right.
All, but
I mean, that's kind of what they wanted him to be out there at the Pacers, though, that Jokic, bring the ball up. I mean, he had a couple triple-doubles. I mean, he has the IQ to pass the ball. Yeah. So I could definitely see that. And I'll be honest with you, the NBA loves the white hope. So I think they will also get behind that. And I love that you mentioned them. You didn't know it, but just to mention a third name, you mentioned the Trailblazers, Jeremy Grant. I think Jeremy Grant going to Portland, playing next to Damian Lillard.
That's tough.
That was my next one. Because you leave the Pistons, right? You leave the Pistons where you were the clear number 1, but Cade was the number 1 in terms of the future, right? So it's kind of like you knew that you were getting traded at some point. So you kind of, maybe you were showing up for work for every day. Maybe you won't. You know what I mean? Probably still taking your workout seriously. But when it came to the games, you were making sure that your trade value could stay strong so that you still went to a desirable location.
I like
so
that.
I think, you know what I mean? So I think Jeremy Grant, especially, and we all know, people have been saying it since the Trailblazers lost to the Warriors back in, 18? You know what I mean? It's like they need a wing. Jeremy Grant is that wing. I personally think Jeremy Grant is that good. I wanted Boston to go get him. When I saw that he went for a 2nd-round pick, I damn near pulled my hair out. Okay, they can have my 2nd-round pick.
We talked about
You know what I mean? Like,
ready to drop.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's like, come on now, for yeah. But I think that would be. I love the Sabonis pick too. But I think Tyrese, Sabonis, and Jeremy Grant, I think those guys are kind of like queued up for a big jump in their next season.
I want to ask you this real quick, because like the last two, you know, I want to make sure I save enough time for them. But I want, like I said, my number 2 was my number 1 for a while. Like Sabonis didn't become number 1 until like maybe 2 days ago.
Okay.
What do you think about Anthony Edwards? Because I do like the Wolves. And I do like if the Wolves are like they could be a top 4 team in the West. That might be, some people might feel like that's reaching, but I think Rudy Gobert is in the right spot. He has that talent, and I think Ant's now going to show everybody he's the number 1 player on the team. Last year, you might have thought Cat was, and I think it's going to be a coming out party for Ant, even though last year might have been the real coming out party. But I think he also win as well. And again, to your point, that kind of big name player was like not big name.
And so that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say, though, right? I didn't look at any top 5 picks when I consider the MIP.
I feel that you said that earlier.
Yeah. So, but I will say though, based on the history of the award, especially in recent years, like you said, and honestly, I'll even say that Anthony Edwards has motivation. You go for a steal in a situation that you shouldn't in the playoffs. Everybody questions your basketball IQ in a sense. After that game, you go on to lose that series, in a series that you probably could have taken control of and maybe have beat the Grizzlies, maybe have beat the Warriors, having Cat, who really matches up with Cat on the Warriors, you know what I mean?
Draymond, I think Draymond does, but it's an interesting series, though.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, it kind of.
Or you go up against Luka. Now we have a rivalry between Anthony Edwards and Luka Doncic, who Luka's MVP discussion.
Edwards. And I'll be honest with you, Anthony Edwards, which I just figured out the other day, man, I thought he was like 6'7". He only like 6'4".
Yeah, he's only 6'4".
Yeah, he only like 6'4", but he got the wingspan, you know what I mean, and the verticality, you know what I mean, to guard anything. So I would have loved for him to get that experience against a guy like Luka for however many games, because I do think, you know what I mean, not purposefully, I think Luka is increasing the curve for the West. Like, it's kind of like you gotta be able, because everybody was like, oh, like PG and Kawhi, you know what I mean, they can handle Luka, and then Luka did what he did to them in the playoffs. You know what I mean? He was still Luka magic. I'm not gonna say he was out there disrespecting them, because he laughed in the Suns. He laughed in the Suns' face though.
You know what I
mean? He was laughing at them. Same amount of points that they had in the quarter type. You know what I mean? He was laughing at them. So at this point, Luka is now the villain of the West, you could say.
A little okay.
You know what I mean? So I would have loved, like I said, I would have loved to see Anthony Edwards kind of get that matchup, because especially at how switch heavy the league is, he would have definitely guarded Luka at some point. And probably would have preferred to stay on Luka, because he just seems like he has that dog.
He's strong. Yeah.
He has that dog. He seems like and again, they released the number 1 player for every position, and then you had Devin Booker at the number 2. And let me tell you something, you can't be number 2 getting your ass waxed like that. In my personal opinion, I'm not saying Jaylen Brown should have been the number 2 shooting guard in the league, but I don't really know a better one. I'm gonna be honest with you. Personally, I don't know a better shooting guard in the league.
We'll make a video on each position, point guard, all that.
But no, I'm glad you brought up Ant-Man. Ant-Man is especially based on what's going on. He could end up winning it. Honestly, that's a good one.
Now we have the Defensive Player of the Year award. I'm gonna let you go first on this one, just because I want to. No, I actually.
I'm gonna say you can let me go first. I'm gonna keep it quick, and I don't have much to say. I'm gonna go Michael Bridges.
I'm gonna go first. I want to say last for the MVP one. I want to say last for MVP. So I'm gonna go, and let me hear what you want on this one. Ben Simmons, easy. Like, he come back, he motivated. You on a team where like they're out there trying to do work, and I gotta believe in my heart of hearts, as long as his back is healthy. It's not like he wasn't an MVP, a Defensive Player of the Year candidate before. Like, he's been on the award list before. So it's like, I gotta assume Buddy's gonna try to make a little reappearance on this list. So I gotta go Ben Simmons. And I actually had a surprising one for number 2. but I'm gonna let you go now. Who's your pick?
So what's so crazy is I'm going Michael Bridges. He was in the a guy who played 82 games. We're talking about a guy who showed up to work every day. Same thing how I felt about Westbrook when it's 6 man. We're talking about guys who show up to work every day.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I think Michael Bridges and Kevon Looney were actually the only 2 players that played every game. But somebody can fact check me on that. I think those 2 players were the only guys who played every game last season. And so I'm going Bridges. And so the reason why I didn't include Ben, and I didn't include him on my MIP, and I also didn't include Jamal Murray on my MIP. Because when you're gone for 400 plus days, brother, I just want to see you out there. I don't even want to put the pressure of an award over your pretty little head. I just want to see you out there. I just want to see you playing, to be honest. And because I was talking to Jordan about this the other day. When you really think about it, Ben Simmons is going into his 4th or 5th season. He's been in the league 6 years, but he missed 2 of them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, can he go out there and win Defensive Player of the Year? I mean, yeah, but I mean, like I said, he also didn't play 2 of it. He don't have as many miles on his body as everybody else in the league, period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As the other guys who've been there, Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, you know what I mean? Those guys, Jaylen Brown, who've been there, long, deep playoff runs, and who's been there, you know what I mean? So that's the only reason why I didn't include guys coming off the injury, because like I said, I just want to see you out there.
Okay.
So my top 2 were Bridges and Bam.
Okay.
2 finalists last year. I don't think they're gonna go a guard again. I'm not gonna say they kind of just gave it to Smart to like, I don't know. Like I said, the media are the people who are voting on these awards. You have to consider they want to keep a job and they want to keep it sexy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So to your point earlier, we had Kevon Looney, Mikal Bridges, Dwight Powell, Sadiq Bey, and Denny Avita, who all played 82 games last season.
Okay.
Big shout out to y'all. You showed up to work every day. Kudos to y'all. Y'all get the participation award. I gotta say, dude, as long as old boy come back healthy, I like Robert Williams for my 2nd.
I don't know. It's the weeks he's missing in the beginning.
If we can give the MVP to someone who played 55, 57 games.
Who was that?
Bill Walton.
You talking about backing? Come on. I'm over here like I know I did my research. Like ain't nobody did that in this past decade. Again though, hey, I just want to put it out there. We've gone over 4 awards now. A Celtic's been named in every award. When we get you have a lot of depth. But look.
When
we get to the finals conversation, everybody, don't be surprised at who I pick.
But keep that same energy though if y'all don't get there. Because now I understand y'all be young, but it's now a disappointment.
Listen, Trey, what's so crazy about it is we don't have to keep the same energy because the energy is about to shift.
Okay.
Shout out to JB. Juice. Shout out to JB. Go cop a shirt.
Well, look. We got another shift going on, and that's to the MVP. That's what we here for. Go ahead, Reese. Who you got? Like, all right, no, but go ahead. Hold on. And actually, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Before you do, I'm sorry. We gotta do a moment for our sponsors. Have you ever just felt like you're? No, I'm playing. Let me stop. No.
You see me. I was ready with my bit. I was ready.
I ain't gonna lie. I saw it. I tried not to laugh so badly. I couldn't the screen. I had to like.
I'm ready. We always sponsored. Always sponsored. Yeah, always sponsored.
Now when I hit
Jason Tatum.
I knew it.
Jason Tatum. Who just like I felt about Joe Mazzulla being in that top conversation for Coach of the Year if we make it back. You know how we gonna make it back? With the MFing MVP. Okay? Why do I think he could go for MVP? It's a numbers game. When you really think about it, right? When you think about Jokic back to back, you know what I mean? It's Giannis, James Harden. It's a numbers game right now. So picture this. Jason Tatum is gonna start this season. Let's say the month of October at the power forward position. Do you know what that gives him? That gives him 7 to 10, 11 rebounds. He will score 25 to 29 points. All right. Assist. Again, at the power forward position. Think about the guys that he will really be matched up against night to night. Guys are going to be open. I'm watching the preseason right now. It's going on. Derek White went 4 for 4 from the three-point line in the first quarter. A guy who we got at the trade deadline mid-season last year, right? Wasn't necessarily acclimated to the team. Right. Hadn't gone through a training camp. You got Malcolm Brogdon out there now. So we have depth like we spoke about. So now I can kick it. So now I'm looking at, let's say, 4 to 7 assists. Now, hear me out though. I want it to not have to be an assist game for you to get MVP. Jokic, Giannis, James Harden. Those are the guys I'm focusing on right now, right? Giannis is the only guy of those three that did not have an inflated amount of assists. It was what he was doing efficiency-wise, rebounding-wise, and defensively. Jason Tatum will sit in a chair. So if we can close out possessions with his defensive rebounding, and he can, again, right, we're talking about the switch-heavy, modern NBA. He will guard point guards. Playoffs last year, his assignment was Kyle Lowry. Just to speak about a point guard. His assignment last year was Kyle Lowry, a very tenacious guy that you have to, you know what I mean? You have to really get into a rhythm, get under a guy like that skin to actually really affect him defensively, because his job at that point was to get the ball to other people. So if you're coming in, I'm averaging 15 and 10, Jason Tatum's on me, and again, we're living in the world of analytics. Somebody on Twitter is going to pull the tape every night. You know what I mean? No, seriously. Somebody on Twitter is going to pull the tape every night and say, XYZ held this person to XYZ.
Yeah.
If Jason Tatum can get somebody tweeting about him enough, I don't see how he doesn't win MVP. I'm going to be honest. Other than, obviously, the guys who were runner-ups, Joel, Giannis. But again, at that point, you're talking about, and again, thinking about the NBA rankings, right? Jason Tatum came out number 7. Joel and Jokic and Giannis, those guys are top 5. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, if Jason Tatum wants to be top 5, and we can pull the tape, he said he's top 5 with a haircut. Pull the tape, he said he's top 5 with a haircut. So as long as he keeps his lineup, why can't he be MVP? Take it. As long as he keeps his lineup, why can't he be MVP? Tell me. Take it.
I'm weak. So I hear you, and I want to say on my list, Jason Tatum is up there. Now this went about 10 deep. Usually the list goes about 10, right?
And let them know, Trey. I held out on every award for putting a Celtic at the top. I'm just saying, I held out for every award.
No, he did.
We gotta take this one.
To be fair, and this is why I think you guys might actually go a little deep again. I have you guys listed in every award, so I'm not, you know what I'm saying, like that is, but I hear you. You know what I'm saying. You mentioned Giannis. Didn't throw Luka up in there. I didn't hear no Stephs. You said Jokic. Ja didn't get no love. AD, Kyrie, I didn't expect. KD, damn. But I understand too. It's crazy though, because my answer is Joel Embiid. And the reason why, again, you can be a bridesmaid, but for so long. Like, so my man is really about to take this thing home. Not to mention,
hey, maid of honor last year. And a year before that.
He won't marry. That's my point. Like, he got, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't sit up here and say Joel Embiid's not going to replicate what he did last season, because he has that talent. And not to mention, he has a healthier and probably hungrier Harden. I said probably. I don't know the man personally. But if we want to be optimistic, he's a little hungrier. And not just because he got a little slender. Like, he has something to prove now. You got Tyrese Maxey. Like, you have oh my God, why can I not remember the boy? Tobias Harris. I was about to say J. Cole.
Totally. Like, bro, if I could, Tobias Harris is the definition of a professional. Yeah. Like, I just hope that like people really understand that Tobias Harris can be put on any team in the league right now and do what he is doing on Philly. He is like I don't know. That is the one thing I actually do envy about the Sixers. It has always been, as soon as he got there, it was Tobias Harris. He is great. I love Tobias Harris. I'm sorry, I just had to say that. I love Tobias Harris.
Well, see, so like my cousins actually were talking bad about Tobias a couple years ago. And I was like, bro, Toby, you got to understand Toby's in a good situation because remember, he was on the Clippers, he was with Doc, right? Mm-hmm. So now you got him again with Doc. And again, you're pairing him with someone like a James Harden, like a Joel Embiid. Again, he's my favorite. Like, he's now a third, fourth option. That's
he is the fourth option. That is a hell of a fourth option.
He might be able to sneak past Tyrese on some games. Because remember, he's a veteran. Tyrese's still young. I still believe that he gonna mess up sometime. But
we're talking about scoring options. We ain't talking about totem pole.
I understand that, but you act like Toby can't give me a quick 30 ball. Like on
but think about it. Think about your fourth best defender guarding Tobias Harris every night.
No, that's gonna be a problem. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Tyrese Maxey is so lethal, especially in transition. He's getting up the court before everybody else. That's why he trumps Tobias, in my opinion, because he's gonna get touches early in possessions because he already down the court. He is the fastest person in their unit. Period. Like it's not even close. I mean, it's not even close.
Easy. No, there's good for that. But we got Joel versus Jason, and I got.
And what did JT tell Joel Embiid last year? He said, "You better win it this year, because I'm gonna win it next year." He said it again. Pull the tape, drop the tape when you drop the video. He said it.
Yo, last time I was on the mic, I had a fresh cut, but now I got curls. So what? Same rules apply. When I get a cut, I think I'm top 5. Top 5 what? Top 5.
He said
he got to prove it though too. He got to prove it, and I got to say this too. I do think some of the fans are going to vote for Joel Embiid just because you got the Jokic. It's the same thing with Braun. You get a little tired of folk. So I think that's got to factor in too. And you have seen Joel Embiid at the top of the list, but I think he's got to take it over. And again, that 76 is going to be at the top of the league as well.
What has really been the difference between Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic? Games played. That is the one thing that the media have used against Joel Embiid. And
it's a little risky.
If we're going to be honest, they will probably be able to use it again this year. He is not a guy who will play 70 games.
I'm going out on a limb here because realistically, I don't have Joel Embiid lasting too much at this level because of the health factor. Like in two more seasons, unless something happens where I can't, I'm not foreseeing. Like he's had too much injury history, and eventually that wear and tear, especially this size, it's going to take a toll on him.
Bro. He's very skilled. Mm-hmm. He doesn't play safe. You know what I mean? He's the type of guy where if he knows what he can do to score on you, he's going to do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? No matter how physical he has to get, no matter how, elegant it has to look, he's going to do whatever he has to do. Because he's that good. He is really, I'm not saying that he is not capable of winning the MVP. His health is the only thing that has held him back since the beginning of his career.
I'm going to be honest with you. This man is low-key, minus the athleticism, a bigger version of Giannis. The only issue, the only problem is just his durability. If he was durable, he's better than Giannis to me. I just can't put him above him because Giannis is healthy.
Man, I will go on record right now and saying Joel Embiid is the most skilled big man in league history. I will go on record saying that right now. I don't think it's close.
Now, granted, the game has evolved, right?
Yeah. And that's speaking
easier. But it's by far. And I'm including Boogie Cousins in that. Like Boogie Cousins, Hakeem, like all these guys. Kareem, like all these people. But
and like I said though, and it's funny though, right? Because it's crazy to me that Jokic won back-to-back because I really want, and this is something I meant to mention earlier when I mentioned JT being MVP, I don't know if winning matters anymore. Like, what seed do you have to get your team to win MVP? I mean, Jokic was the 8th seed last year.
I will say this too now. Sometimes context does matter. So let's say Joel Embiid has a full team, right? But then Giannis just lost Drew Holiday, and Chris Middleton, and for whatever reason they're 6 seed.
No. You can't say 6. Jokic, Russ, 8 seeds.
Okay. Even if they're in the playoffs, like I gotta give that some consideration. Like that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes context matters. I understand you. There should be a standard, but I also think too those particular moments can also fit into the standard. Those should be anomalies that you would accept because again,
I just feel like you take MVPs from guys when you make it like that. I don't know, because it's just like people get hurt. Like that is sports. You know what I mean? And so just because you are that, you are that good. You know what I mean? You are that good, dude. I'm not knocking that you are an MVP caliber player, but again, I don't believe that Devin Booker is the best shooting guard in the league. But when Devin Booker said he was the best player on the best team in the league, it was a fact. If regular season record, they were by far the best team. You know what I mean? Nobody close. Nobody was catching them at one point, right?
Yep.
And he was by far the best player on the team. Yep. Even if you have a guy who was eligible for Defense Player of the Year, you have the point guard in Chris Paul, and you got a 7-foot in DeAndre Ayton. If you are the best player on the best team, why doesn't that make you the MVP? Why can't somebody who was an 8th seed? Think about it. If Jamal Murray plays, and you know what? And I won't even say if. We will know this year because Jamal Murray is playing, right? If Jokic still goes down and gives you 30-10 or 30-12 and 30-15 and then lay him, you know what I mean? Then I can't knock what he did last season. He deserved that MVP. But it's like, I'm not. If a guy's usage percentage is 67%.
I get that. And again, that's where context comes in too.
Yeah.
But I gotta say too, though, the definition of the most valuable player. So if you lose a lot of stars, especially if it's early, if it's later in the season, I'm not gonna count that. Yeah. But if you lost them at a specific time, all right, cool. You lost them game 25. Damn, that's a lot of season left, and you still kept your team in that playoff hunt. If we can't give them credit, I can't say Kobe was MVP caliber. You know what I'm saying? Because then I was like, all right, well, they were the 8th seed. But to be fair, we had Smush Parker and Kwame Brown, no disrespect, but disrespect. You know what I'm saying?
And Jokic had professionals, bro. And this is what I'll say too. And this is what's tough about allowing a lower seeded guy to win MVP. Mm-hmm. When you get swept or you get ejected.
Yeah, I didn't like
how you eject the MVP of the league from the playoffs?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, they mishandled that one a little bit.
You cannot eject the MVP. But you know what? The referees ain't think he was the MVP. That's what I say. He was just some hot-headed guy out there. That's what they said.
Hey, possibly.
Come on now. We could probably. I'm telling you. On the next episode, I will have it myself. How many MVPs have been ejected from playoff games? I bet you Jokic is on a short list.
We'll definitely have to bring that up on that one then.
I bet you Jokic is on a short list.
I'm sure it's a short list. You don't want to eject the MVPs, but I'm sure they have been ejected. Now, if we're talking about we'll have to narrow it down because in the finals, in the playoffs, it's a little tough. Regular season, I'm sure it's happened a couple times. But that is fair though, that doesn't happen at all. But all right. I gotta say this.
And you MVP getting swept, most valuable. What you got swept?
It's tough. But again, to be fair, though, he lost to the defending champs though. My Lakers got swept by Dallas and Dirk and them, so I can't.
You said Jokic ain't getting swept by the defending champs. Wait, the year before that.
You talking about this past season?
I'm talking about back-to-back years.
Oh, back to you talking about last year? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about back-to-back years. You're out in 4 or 5 games.
They lost to the team that went to the finals in back-to-back years.
Oh my god.
Well, look. All right. So let me ask you this. I think we've already listed off the MVPs, right? So we got to go to the Would You Rather segment, but we got to keep it short though.
I got you. I'm gonna give you straight up answer.
You got to keep it short. Finals predictions. Who you got?
Celtics, Clippers.
That's tough. All right.
I want to see the battle of the wings. I don't want to see no light-skinned brother running around screens. I want to see guys matched up and hooping.
I mean, to be fair, Steph was hooping last season, and that's why I got him going to the finals. I don't actually. It's the Clippers versus the Nets. Like, talk to me, champ. Go! Like, I need to see this, please. Because it was like I wanted to see this 2 seasons ago. So, and then I wanted to see it this past season. And they say third time.
He said I wanted to see it for a while.
They say third time's the charm, so I gotta hope that's the case. But if not, I do gotta say this. I like that Clippers Celtics one. I do like that one.
I just want to see guys.
I gotta see that.
It just feels like old guard versus new guard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who will prevail?
New era. It'll usher in a new era.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like, all right, the torch is passed. Like, all of you cats are really sub top 10 now.
Definitely. That's gonna be weird. That's gonna be weird to see. Yeah. But Reese, I greatly appreciate you for coming on the show, bro. We're definitely gonna do this again, ladies and gentlemen. So don't think he's gone. You know, you'll see him again. Per usual, if you've been well on the show. But Reese, you want to say anything before we close off?
Hey, Jason Tatum MVP. Rob Williams Defensive Player of the Year. Malcolm Brogdon, 6th Man of the Year. All right, hold on. I ain't done yet. God dang, Jaylen Brown, Most Improved Player. Joe Mazzulla, Coach of the Year. I'm gone. Gone, man. Gone.
All right, and with that, Lakers not gonna win a damn thing. But you know, I'm gonna be optimistic a little bit and say maybe we do a little something, but we'll see how it goes. But we'll tune in and we'll give y'all the updates. So hope y'all stay tuned. Hope y'all enjoyed it. And until next time, see y'all.
Not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I got to go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word. You know we get buckets right here, too.